Agent Evans, I'm coming for you.
Welcome back to Movie Recap Center, where we break down powerful stories of crime, justice, and redemption. Today's movie proves that even the most skilled thief can't outrun his conscience. It's the tale of a man who's stolen millions, but only one thing he truly wants to keep: love. This is Honest Thief, 2020. A gripping action thriller starring Liam Neeson as a bank robber ready to trade his freedom for redemption. Tom Dolan is a man with a reputation. Though no one really knows who he is, he's the mysterious criminal the press calls the In-N-Out Bandit, a highly skilled bank robber who's pulled off multiple heists across the country without ever being caught. Every job was flawless. Every trace erased. After years of living in shadows, Tom moves to a quiet town outside Boston, hoping to start over. That's when he meets Annie Wilkins, a woman who works at a local storage facility. What begins as a casual encounter soon turns into something real. For the first time in his life, Tom feels something stronger than adrenaline: love. The year passes. The two fall deeply for each other. One day, Tom asks Annie to move in with him. She hesitates, but eventually agrees. And that's when everything changes. Tom decides it's time to stop running, to leave his criminal past behind. For Annie, he picks up the phone and calls the FBI. On the other end is Agent Sam Baker. Tom calmly introduces himself as the In-N-Out Bandit and says he wants to turn himself in. Sam is skeptical. He's heard plenty of fakes claim the title before. But Tom insists he's real. He offers to return $9 million in stolen cash in exchange for a reduced sentence. When asked why, Tom says simply, "Because I fell in love." Sam chuckles, thinking it's another con, but agrees to look into it. He passes the case to his friend, Agent Myers, and assigns two junior agents, John Nivens and Roman Hall, to meet this so-called bandit. John and Hall arrive at Tom's hotel. Tom repeats his confession, but they don't believe him. To prove it, Tom explains exactly how he pulled off every heist. He chose small-town banks with outdated vaults, used his military demolitions background to blast them open from the inside, and always entered through air ducts or abandoned buildings next door, leaving zero evidence. Then Tom offers them the ultimate proof: the keys to his storage locker, filled with the stolen money. The agents head to the location, and to their shock, it's all there, stacks upon stacks of stolen cash. That's when John Nivens makes a deadly choice. He decides to keep the money for himself. Hall, the more moral of the two, hesitates. But Nivens convinces him, whispering that the money could change their lives forever. As they load the cash into their car, Annie spots them on the security cameras. The agents quickly claimed they're Tom's friends picking up his things. Believing them, Annie walks away, unknowingly saving herself from suspicion. Back at Tom's hotel, the agents confront him. Nivens pulls a gun and demands silence. But Tom, always one step ahead, reveals that only $3 million was in that locker. He's holding another $6 million somewhere else. Before Nivens can react, Agent Sam Baker shows up, just in time to catch them red-handed. Panicked, Nivens shoots Baker dead. A brutal fight erupts between Tom and Nivens. They crash through a window as gunshots echo through the hall. That moment, Annie arrives, horrified to see the chaos. Tom grabs her and yells for her to drive. They flee the scene as the corrupt agents begin their cover-up. Now, Tom is a wanted man for a murder he didn't commit. John and Hall chase them across the city, but when they find Tom's car abandoned, they realize they've been tricked. Tom and Annie are hiding nearby. Catching their breath, Tom finally comes clean. He tells Annie everything: the robberies, the stolen money, the reason he wanted to confess. Annie is stunned. Her heart breaks as she realizes the man she loves has been living a lie. Tom swears he's never killed anyone, not once. He tells her his story. His mother died from pneumonia while he was deployed. His father, devastated and broke, was cheated out of his pension by a corrupt CEO. With no help, his father ended his own life. That Tom's first heist was revenge, robbing that same CEO's bank. But after that, it became a habit. Now, he only wants one thing: to make it right. Meanwhile, Agent Myers investigates Baker's death and vows to find his killer. When he questions Nivens and Hall, they lie, claiming Tom murdered Baker and escaped with Annie. They also deny ever finding any money. Myers begins to suspect something's off, but with no evidence, he can't act yet. Tom urges Annie to leave town. She reluctantly agrees after he promises to follow soon. Once alone, Tom starts tracking Nivens, watching his every move. Myers, digging deeper, finds Tom's military record spotless. He's not a violent man. Something doesn't add up, but Annie makes a fateful mistake. She doesn't leave. Instead, she returns to her job, determined to find proof. There, she discovers security footage showing Nivens and Hall removing boxes of cash from Tom's locker. Before she can call Tom, Nivens shows up. He demands the memory card with the footage. Annie refuses. They fight. Hall, waiting outside, runs in and finds Annie unconscious. Nivens orders him to kill her, but Hall checks her pulse and lies. She's already dead. They flee, thinking the problem is solved. Moments later, Tom arrives, finding Annie barely alive that he rushes her to the hospital just before the police arrive. Then, he calls the FBI,
Agent Evans, I'm coming for you.
demanding to speak to Nivens directly that he accuses the corrupt agents of stealing the money and shooting Baker. Myers listens in, watching Nivens closely. The tension grows. If you're still watching, you're part of the Movie Recap Center family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic crime thrillers, redemption stories, and movie breakdowns that hit hard and stay with you. Later, Myers visits Annie at the hospital. He realizes she's alive, and that Hall lied. Now the pieces start to fall into place. Meanwhile, Tom is back on the run. A police officer spots him and alerts Nivens and Hall, who chase him down. Tom crashes his car into theirs, a bold move, and escapes on foot. But Myers catches him moments later. Believing Tom's a murderer, Myers beats him down. Tom, bleeding and desperate, hands him Hall's gun, the one used to kill Baker. He pleads with Myers to test it, promising it will prove the truth. Myers hesitates, but starts to believe. Nivens, sensing the walls closing in, pressures Hall to finish Annie off. Hall refuses. He's had enough. When Nivens prepares to do it himself, Myers shows up at Annie's room, saving her just in time that he questions Nivens face to face. Why did Dolan say you killed Baker? Was money involved? But Nivens keeps lying through his teeth. After Myers leaves, Nivens threatens Hall's family, warning him to stay silent. Or else, that night, Hall breaks. He tells his wife the truth. He only wanted a better life for their family, but now everything's ruined. Moments later, Tom shows up at Hall's house. Hall fears he's there for revenge, but Tom assures him he's not a killer. Instead, he asks for help to expose Nivens. Hall confesses he secretly took the memory card from Annie's pocket before she collapsed. Tom and Hall move Annie to a safe hotel. Then Tom contacts Myers, insisting Annie is innocent. Myers agrees to back off. For now, Tom sets his final plan in motion. He sneaks into Nivens' house and plants explosives. Then he calls him. You killed an innocent man. I'm giving you one chance to confess. Nivens laughs, refusing. Tom detonates the bombs. Boom. Blowing up the house, but sparing Nivens' life. It wasn't about killing him. It was about justice. Later, Nivens calls Hall for a meeting. But Hall, now working with Tom, records everything at the same time. Annie hands the surveillance footage and cash evidence to Myers, proving Tom's story. When Tom and Hall meet Nivens, the confrontation turns deadly. Hall tries to talk him down, but Nivens shoots him and grabs the money. Tom calls Nivens' phone, his voice cold and calm. There's a pressure. Bomb under your seat. Move, and you die. Nivens freezes. The bomb squad arrives and carefully removes the device, only to find it's a fake. Tom never intended to kill him. He just needed to stall long enough for the truth to surface. Myers arrives, holding the recording from Hall's body. Nivens' full confession. They find the stolen cash in his card. It's over. Nivens is arrested. Justice is served. In the final scene, Myers visits Annie. Tom arrives quietly, ready to turn himself in. He's finally free of lies, ready to face the consequences and start a new chapter. Sometimes, being honest means losing everything, but gaining back your soul. And that was Honest Thief, 2020. The story of a man who stole for revenge, but confessed for love. Thank you for watching Movie Recap Center, where every story finds its heart. Until next time, stay sharp, Stay honest and keep watching.